Able to hear me, see me as well? How is my voice? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Like, your voice was very low for me. Why? Can you speak something?
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 I do, I do. Thanks. Okay, well done. Okay, we already 3 minutes past. I'm also 1 minute late. I'll start the class now. Let them join. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from your Guru, God, Goddess, and all your moves. If you are done, slowly open your eyes. Okay, as usual, three main section. First, we are going to see about the Kocharam, followed by today's class, and ending up with the horoscope discussion. Okay, on the December 28th, Guru in the Mithuna, Guru in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Simha Rasi, Surya, Mangal, and the Shukran in the Dhanur, Rahu in the Kumbha, Sani and the Chandra in the Meena. Okay. The one now the Saturn was Chandra was combined with Saturn. The moon is combined with the Saturn. The people who have the same combination in their birth chart, and the Kocharam is also having this one. Uh, this one sometimes they emotionally they may drain or they may feel lazy or the decision making is really tough for them at this moment. But if you have this kind of the combination in your birth chart and Kosharam is also having the same combination, it's a wonderful day to check yourself. This one maybe some of the decision may get delayed, but this is not the good combination anyway. Okay, the people who born on the Meena Rasi, Meena Lagna, and the Chandra now combined with the Saturn in the Kochar. Okay, now that becomes your Lagna and the Gocharam Saturn and the Chandra was Saturn and Chandra combined together. And next looks over your Lagna or Rasi and see how your emotions are and how your decision making. Is there any progress in your life? Maybe sometimes it may get delayed. You may get delayed in you making a decision. The delay in the process of making a decision or delaying everything else. But you have to find out which one it is. Okay. Importantly, now the biggest thing about the next graha we have to note down. Now the Surya compared to the Dhanurman. So now it is going to be it's going to start the direction towards the north. This is the best day for everyone's health. So still now, when it was in the direction of the Dakshinayana, the health of the peoples may not be that much good. It may get affected one or the other way. Now this is the from starting of this month, the sun takes its directions towards the north. So that's why the people's health is also get improved. So as usual, I would say like this: see the graha, which is yearly planets, Guru in the Miduna, Rahu in the Kumbha, Ketu in the Simha, Saturn in the Meena, and we already know about this yearly planets thing, and where the Chandra will be. And now we have to take a look into the Surya also. For the next 1 month, the Surya will be in the Dhanur month only. Then and now let's see about the Panchang. Panchang today is the Ashtami, followed by the Navami. Nakshatra is the Uttra Patrapada, followed by the Revati. Yoga is the Variyana, and followed by the Pariga. Karna is the Bhava, Balava, and Kaulava. With days the Ravivara, Paksha is the Shukla Paksha. Okay. Now we are now moving into the new chapter of the fifth Lord in every houses. We discussed this, how we have to treat this one. Anyway, for our easy understanding, I will say this one more time. So now first, before we understand about the fifth lord in every bhavas, we understand what is the Panchamadhipati. Panja means 5 and Adhipati is the lord. So the fifth lord, what it is represents. First of all, we have to know what the fifth house represents. Fifth house represents your progeny, that is your children, and divine merit. Whatever the Purva Punyam you accumulated in your previous lives and you carried on to this lifetime. So the progeny, divine merit, is the main significance of the fifth house. And importantly, it also represents your sense of humor, your intelligence. In terms, you can say it as an IQ, and amusements, speculations, all kinds of the entertainment comes under the fifth house. And romance is also in the fifth house. And what IQ means, intelligence means all kind of the native intelligence, the Jataka's intelligence comes into signified by the fifth. Now, the main thing what about the fifth house is your progeny, that is the children and the divine merit and the intelligence, amusement, speculations. Keep this in mind. That is the fifth house. Now, this was ruled by the fifth lord. Who's that? That is the Panchamadhipati. That is why we have to see the fifth lord. Let's take an example. Your Lagna is the Mesha Lagna. Which is the fifth house here? Anybody?
Sun.
Fifth house is Simha, right?
Simha.
Right? So who's the lord here?
Sun.
Sun. Okay, now what we are going to see here was the lord, fifth house lord, who is Sun, based on the Lagna, I'm telling. If your Lagna was Rishabha, then your fifth lord will be the Buddha. If your Lagna will be Midna, then your fifth lord will be Venus. So based on that, based on your Lagna, the fifth lord will be differ. What we are going to see from this week onwards, what the fifth lord is, when the fifth lord is sitting on the Lagna, imagine the fifth lord Sun was sitting in the Lagna itself. Now, in other scenario, if the Sun was sitting in the second house, that means your fifth lord. What I am mentioning here is fifth lord. If the fifth lord is sitting in the third house, like that, we are going to see fifth lord sitting in all 12 houses. If the fifth lord was sitting in the first house, what it will be? If the fifth lord is sitting in the second house, what it will be? Same thing goes for all 12 houses. Okay. Okay. Now, main thing what we have to understand about the fifth house and the fifth house significance of the fifth house lord is conceive, that is the children. Children related with mainly fifth house represents the native's first child and the children. If the Jataka can able to conceive, or is there any problem or struggle obstacles in the conceive, it's mentioned or signified by the fifth house. And the conceive here is not only the children, it's all about the ones, the Jataka's creativity, thinking, thought process, everything comes under the conceive. The creation, whatever it is created by the individual. It can be the thoughts, it can be the creative, any creation that is done by the individual. So the creativity is also in the fifth house. Speculations and amusements, all kind of the speculations. Okay, whichever the thing you can say it in the whatever the things in the world which is comes under the speculation, all signified by the fifth house. So in a simple words, what are the things I have to remember in the fifth house is mainly these three things is more than enough. Conceive, creativity, speculation. And if you want to add more, go with the entertainment, amusement, and the romance also. So if these three things is keep in your mind all the time, that's more than enough. Okay. Now let's see into the fifth lord is in the first house. Okay, what does that mean? Now let's take a different Lagna, Rishabha Lagna. The fifth house here is the Kanya, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So here's the fifth house. Who's the lord here? Who's the owner of the fifth house?
Mercury.
Mercury. Now imagine the Mercury is in the first house. That means the fifth lord, who is Mercury? Mercury is in your Lagna. That is the first house. That is the meaning of the fifth lord in the first house. Now let's see about the first house. First house, everybody knows about it, right? It's exactly telling about the Jataka, the self, the person, or the image. What is the innate personality the individual was holding? In a simple words, the Jataka itself. So imagine the first house. Now, the first house, in that first house, the fifth lord was sitting. In other words, what we can say, there is a connection between the 1 and the 5. This is your Lagna, it's you, and there was a connection between the 5. What is the special about here? Anybody can remember this one? There is a relation between the 1 and the 5. What is a big deal here? Anybody can remember anything?
159.
1 5?
159 Kendra.
Yes. Was 159 what it is? 159. That's correct. What is 159?
Kendra.
No.
Trikona.
Trikona, sorry.
Yes. It is a simple idea to remember, right? When it was Trikona means 3 points only. 1, 2, and 3. That is Trikona. Okay. What is a Kendra? Kendra is a 4 points.
1 4 7 10.
1 4 7 10. That was a 4 points. So that's one easily can remember, right? It looks like a square. This look like a triangle. Okay. What is the fifth house will do? Fifth house will tell about your creativity, amusement, speculations, romance. That all mentioned in the fifth house. Now, the first house, in the first house, the fifth lord is going to setting. What it will be? These peoples are become the greater visionary in their life. If they can see they may be the good visionary in their life, in personal and public life also. In simple terms, these peoples are the greatest visionary in the among the peoples. They are greater visionary in the personal life also, in the professional life also. Some people one can only think of the present moment. They can't be able to vision in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years of the time. But these people think about beyond the normal average people's thinking. Okay. One important thing about when there is a connection between your Lagna and the Trigonadipati, definitely there is a luck was placed in it. Okay. What is the luck? In which way the luck will be? The luck is in on your investments because the fifth house is also representation of your speculation related things. So the fifth house, fifth 1 and the 5 related combines together, and this gives you the luck. When the Trigonadipati combined with your Lagna, it gives you the luck. And luck in which? Luck in which area? In your investments and in your children. Okay. And when there was a two auspicious is combined together, that is your Lagna and the fifth house combined together, there's a combination, there is a relation was coming, right? Then definitely there is a happiness with your children. One or the other way it will come. They will make you proud, or they will study well, they behave well, they grow well. No matter what, the happiness will comes from the children. Okay. Establish a scholar. The people are intelligent. When the 1 and the 5 combine it together, the intelligence is a side effect of that. Okay. Definitely these people are very much intelligent. Okay. Not only intelligence, when the Lagna is a Jataka, right? It's the brain of that person. So when the fifth lord is sitting in the first means, they are strategically planning everything. They are the best strategist. No one can match with them. Even if you are trying to planning for the study, planning for cooking or planning for very big project, they do the very well strategic planning. Even if they are going for one small travel or big travel, their planning is really well. You can't even match with them. Okay, and this is this is already written in it. When the 1 and 5 combine it together, any kind of speculative ventures they are trying to start or they combined with anybody, and this will give the success as the result. Okay. Anybody having the 1 and 5 relation? 1 and 5 relation is really good. When the Trigonadipati combined with the Lagnadipati means it will give you the tremendous wealth in your life. Anybody having 1 and 5 relation? Fifth lord in the first house? No? Okay. In simple words, what we can remember, 1 and 5 combination, if there was a Trikonadipati combination means it's really auspicious. One or the other way, the luck will come. They grow in the particular aspects of that house. What is it meaning? So fifth lord in first house. What are the aspects of the fifth significance of the fifth house? Investment, children, speculation, amusement, entertainment, right? They will grow. They have the luck in this particular area. Okay. Okay. Now let's move into another one. There's one thing you all definitely remember. This slide you should not miss. Why I will tell you the reason. There are the different types of sense of humor will come. Okay. Every planet will give you the different sense of humor. If one person was how you can based on the sense of humor itself, you can easily understand what kind of the planet's significance is more in that particular individual. If the individual was energy was predominantly dominant with the sun's energy means they'll hardly smile. They're very strict. They're very authoritative. The sense of humor you may sense sometimes, but they may exhibit that one, but they're really, really hard to smile. When it comes into the moon, the moon is also sensitive in nature. It really welcomes it in every way, whichever they speak or do gesture, whichever way, it welcomes the humor. When it comes into the Venus, Venus will show all kinds of creativity in making jokes, and these people are momentarily doing the jokes. They do the instant joke one. You can't. You will definitely enjoy because the joke will be very instant. The sense of humor will be at the moment itself, and they shows their creativity also. Why? Because the Venus will that when the Venus energy was really high in them, they show the creativity in every other way. Okay, now let's come into the Mercury. Mercury was good in speaking. When they speak, when you speak with other peoples also, you can easily find out whether this person was significantly dominant with the Mercury energy or because when they speak, you will really laugh a lot. The opposite person laugh a lot. Why? Because the Mercury energy gives that kind of the hilarious sense, and but sometimes these people may not show the expressions on the face. Okay, but when you speak with them, you you may notice there are the two people who are speaking. One people was continuously speaking, and the next person was continuously laughing. And you may think that the laughing person is the Venus, Mercury energy. No, the speaking person is the Mercury energy. Okay. Now let's come into the Mars. Mars was aggressive in every way. When the Mars energy was increased, when the Mars was energy was increased, dominant with that Mars energy means they okay. Imagine a situation when you do the martial arts. Okay, this is an imagination situation. Okay, so imagine there are the signified peoples, Mars energy people. What they will do? They want to do the workout more because their energy was really flowing in them. They want to climb whatever height they can be. They want to show their power. But when it was, imagine a situation who Mercury energy is really high and this guy was doing the martial art, means they can't do because their energy was really soft in nature. They can't hold for that amount of the time. When it comes into the moon's energy is really gentle. But when it comes into the sun energy, it's not aggressive as Mars, but was very energetic as the Mars. Mars was aggressive, but the sun's energy is energetic. There is a difference. But both the peoples are very good in when it comes into the energy level or workouts. And now let's come back to the Mars. Mars sense of humor was really aggressive, and anywhere anyone can. Their aggressiveness, no one can stop. When it comes into the Jupiter was supportive energy. It's like a soothing and gentle supportive. When it comes into the Saturn, they won't react no matter what happens. Even if you joke, even if you scold, even if you aggressively behave to them, they literally maintained the same emotions, same reaction. They won't react first of all. Okay. Based on this one, you see the people who's around you. You may talk with the people, so you can easily identify them. Okay, this energy is high to this person, this energy is low to this person. If you are a teacher, that will be really good when you're handling the students. So, this kind of when the Navagraha's energy was increased or decreased, how it will help you? That will help you to handle the students in a different way. Okay, it's applicable in every other way. How creatively you applying. Let's getting into fifth lord and the second house. Now let's see about the second house. Second house means all kind of your movable assets. The asset which can be liquid easy. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah,
I
we
guess
can hear you.
your speech, your family, and the food and nourishment all comes under the second house. Now we know about the fifth house. Fifth house is about your progeny, your divine merits, and sometimes the people is it's also mentioned about the Kuladev. Kuladevata, you may heard about it. It's a family. Okay? The generation to generation, the peoples will worship and they get the blessing from the family god. So the fifth house is also a representation of the family god. And the speculation, amusement, entertainment, romance all comes under the fifth house. Now, the second house was Dhanasthana. The Uttasthana Adhipati was sitting in the second house. What will happen? Okay. Now, let's see how it will be as an example. Okay, before that, anybody was having the fifth lord in the second house? Let's see, Meenalak. Okay. Now, which one is the second house? This one is the second house. Yes or no? Mesha is the second house. Now, who's the fifth lord here?
Jupiter. Sorry. Moon.
Moon. Kadagarasi, right? Fifth house is the Kadagarasi. Then the lord is the moon. Now, the fifth lord is in second house. Which is the second house? Mesha is the second house. Then the lord whose moon was sitting in the second house. Fifth lord in the second house. So that means this people becomes a role model to everybody. Okay. Interestingly, what it will do, they now you are combining the two houses significance together, 2 and the 5. So the Dhanasthana and the Putrasthana. And in other words, what we can say, the Trigonadhipati combined, there is a relation between the Trigonadhipati with the second house law. Okay. Is that increase auspiciousness in anyone's life? Of course it is. How? The flow of the money will comes to them in the flow of the money won't get drained. It comes in the various levels, and they also have an ability to gain from the speculation. There are some people who they may come and ask you, can I invest in share market? Can I invest in the forex markets? Can I invest in the option trading? Is that possible for me? If the fifth and the second house relation was there, you can say to them, and also you have to check the other houses. But this will give you the clear idea. They can able to invest in the speculative markets. Okay? And they because of the intelligence in the Lord who's of the intelligence is sitting in the second house. And the strong initiativeness in will come because they show the leadership skills in every way. Okay. Now we may ask how come the leadership comes into picture? Why the strong initiativeness will come? Here the keyword is the leadership. Then why the leadership has come? If you remember the Kala Purusha chart, which is the fifth house? The fifth house is the Simharasi. Simharasi, who's the Lord here? That is the sun. The sun always show the authority and the leadership initiativeness, and that initiative is really strong. Now, why I didn't include in every other houses? Most of the time, remember the Kalapurusha chart in the back of your mind all the time. Yeah, whenever you see the birth chart, keep that in mind. Whenever you see the Bosharam chart, keep that in mind. Why? The Kalapurusha chart signifies qualities will come in a hidden way, and you can't even interrupt. You may think like, how is that possible? In the fifth house, I know it is for this one, and second house is for this one. But how come the leadership is coming here? Okay. Then the Kalapurusha chart will help you. But in the beginning, if you feel that no, I can't even remember that one, remembering flood in second house itself a greater task for me, and I can't remember the Kalapurusha chart, that's totally fine. You can skip this point momentarily for while going reading number of the charts. It comes on its own. Okay. Okay, now the fame and status is also fifth house. Now, these people's attain a fame and status in very international level. Okay. International level means you may think they attain the famous in a greater level. They have the beautiful partner and wonderful kids they will have. Okay, when the second and the fifth house combined together. Definitely, because the fifth lord is in the sixth second house, the children prosper profoundly. The children definitely prosper. And when the 5 and the Trikonadipati combined with the Lagna, Trikonadipati combined with the second house, it gives the parents who will be proud because of the children. The children make the greater achievements in their life. Okay? Anyone who's having fifth lord in second house? Yes, no? No? And then we will move into, okay, this is for your homework. See the peoples who having the fifth lord in the second house. Okay. Now let's say about the fifth lord in the third house. This is the fifth lord is in the Dairyasthana. That is a third house. What is the third house is for? Aim, ambition, courage, art and passion, all kind of the communication. In this modern world, any communication comes under the third house. People living and working nearby, that is the neighbors and the colleagues, all comes in the third house. Now keep this in mind, and we know what is the fifth house is for. Fifth house is for conceived children, creativity, creativity and romance, speculations, amusements, entertainment, all comes in the fifth house. Now, this fifth lord is sitting in the third house. That is about your courage. Your courage will increase or not. Can you able to plan or not? Now, you will tell me when the fifth lord was sitting in the third house, your courage will increase or not? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, right? Because the Trikona Adhipati was sitting in your Dairyasthana, it will definitely increase. Okay, when the good house Lord was sitting in any of the 12 houses means it will increase that auspiciousness. Okay, what is the third house auspiciousness? It's the courage. The persons, if anyone was living in this planet, if they want to do anything in their life, even want to lift one pen and put the pen down, they need the courage, they need that energy. At least they have the aim to pull the pen out and keep it in wherever they want. So that kind, I'm just telling in a very trivial things. It's applicable in every way, in a very grand manner also. If you want to achieve anything in your life, you need that courage. And if the fifth lord was sitting in the third house, mean increase the courage. Okay? They are very good strategic planner. And because of this, they think ahead of time. No one can match with it. When the fifth lord, that is the Trigunadipati, was sitting in the third house, means that planning is very beautiful. And the strategically planning, if okay, why the strategic planning comes into place here? Because their nervous system was in such an organized order, they won't mess, they won't plan in a clumsy way. It's the planning will be flow like anything. It's smooth. When they are planning, they know where to place, how to place. If one thing was out of order, and how to match with them, how they can tackle how they can manage a disaster. They know how to do. Coming into the full picture. Okay, they have very good communication. Because the fifth lord, who is the Trigonadipati, was sitting in a third house, means the communication ability will be increased. That very good communication ability. If one may think you can't convince them, and when the fifth lord and the sixth, third house people go and speak with any one of them, they can convince, they can compromise even because of the wonderful communication ability. Okay, and when the fifth lord in the third house, this is very wonderful for the people who may doubt themselves. Can I be a good investor? No, you are a very wise investor. They are wise investors. They won't even ask, can I invest? Because when the fifth lord in the third house means their courage will come automatically. When any one of the people come and ask you saying that, can I invest? Then definitely their fifth lord is not in the third house. That's for sure. Why? When the fifth lord, who's signified for the investment, amusement, speculation related things, sitting in the third house, it is for the courage house. It will give that courage to the native inbuilt. They born with that. They are the very good investors. And importantly, they are wise investors. Okay. Okay. You may think this was a negative, and this is also good for them. They think a lot. They they think a lot means really a lot to take ambitious steps. But this one will give them very good for them in the long run. Okay. Anyone was having the fifth lord in the third house? Yes, please. I'm thinking if I can remember any horoscope, I couldn't. Okay, now let's see into fifth lord in the fourth house. Okay, now the fourth house, okay, let's see about the fifth lord. Fifth house, we know this is for consume children, creativity, speculation, amusement, entertainment, and romance, and various other things. But remember these main points. That lord was sitting in the fifth house. Okay, fifth house, sorry, fourth house. Fourth house, what's mainly for home, mother, real estate, vehicle, harmony. That is Matrusthana, that is for your mother related stuffs. And the home, homeland, any kind of the assets, immovable assets. Are you able to be the owner of the immovable assets? Yes or no? That you can see in the fourth house. Harmony, happiness, any kind of the happiness. Okay. What makes you happy, that will be explained in your fourth house itself. Okay. Now the Tribunadipati, that is the fifth lord, was sitting in the fourth house. What will happen? These are the people, they start yearning very early. We heard about these people, they start yearning the 13 at the age of the 13, beginning of the teenage. You may heard the people, they work from the 10 years, at age of the 10 years. These people will start earning very early because the fifth lord in the fourth house means they they have that ability to start earning in the very early stage. Okay. When the Trikona Vajipati was sitting in the fourth house, meaning it will give good to the mother or not? Of course it is, because the fifth house increase the auspiciousness of whichever the house it will be. The mother will have the good longevity. Mostly when the fifth lord in the fourth house means what are the other things will comes as a side effect. They're little bit aggressive in nature, extravagant in every other step, every other things. That's the only one side effect you may think of. And okay, this one was very important. When the fifth lord in the fourth house means they have the more daughters than sons. Uh, when you read the horoscope, the one nowadays this question was come. I heard from one of the astrologers. In earlier stages, they will have the horoscope. One important question they will always receive is can I have one son at least in my life or not? But when you see the fifth lord in the fourth house, don't give any guarantee because they definitely will have more daughters than sons. Okay. Some of the dogmas, it will irritate them. I'm not able to relate any one of it, but that was given as a point. Okay, this is very important. When they may become rich due to the investment and speculation, because fifth lord in the fourth house means definitely the richness will be increased, but due to what? Due to the investment and the speculation. These peoples will always say this: you can't accumulate if you don't speculate. But this is not applicable to everybody. Okay, and this point is also may not accurate when the fifth lord was sitting in the fourth house. The fourth house becomes the house of the Saturn. Then they may not say this. Okay, but one or the other way, what you have to remember is they increase the wealth based on the speculative business. Okay. Anyone having the fifth lord in fourth house? Okay. Okay. When I telling fifth lord in the fourth house, I hope you can remember. Imagine you are a Tula Lagna. Which is the fourth house? Makara is the fourth house. And who's the lord here? Sorry, who's the fifth lord here? This is the fifth house. This is fourth. And who's the fifth lord here?
Saturn.
Now the Saturn was sitting in the fourth house. Fifth lord to Saturn in fourth house. So when this may become yes or no, start earning may not be possible. But if the Saturn was sitting in the fourth house, this possibility is really high, because Saturn was sitting in its own house. That too, it's a fourth house. It's possible. So when they may not become the domineering, but the aggressiveness will come. Sometimes they will show the domineering quality, and they also expose their extravagant in whichever way they can expose themselves. Most of them will come true. But okay, imagine a situation now you have Mars here, and this will all come true. No, most of the points will get. Mean the domineering aggressive nature will come. This one become a question mark for them. This one is also not possible when other grahas combined together. Remember one scenario here. We are seeing only the happiest scenario. We are not confusing our learning. We are going in an organized fashion. So we are only going with the very simplest way. Why I'm telling this? So this all the scenarios you may see in your horoscope. You may see in other birth chart also. But that point in time, you may think like fifth lord in fourth house. I found it very good, and but when I see this birth chart and it was utterly opposite, then what you have to see? You have to see what are the aspects of the graha, what are the graha combinations present, and what are the dasha buddhi was happening, what is the Kushara graham was present. Okay, all things combined together. Okay. And till now it was confusing, or this was easy to follow? If you didn't say anything, I think it was easy to follow. Okay. Okay. Now let's see about the fifth lord in the fifth house. That means the lord who's the owner was sitting in his own house itself. Okay. Now we already know about the fifth house. It's about the thing, conceive, creativity, spontaneity. These people instantly doing anything. Amusement, humor, analyze, calculate, putrasthana. Okay. What are the mainly the peoples will see about the putrasthana and the conceive, creativity, amusement, speculative related business, mainly the fifth lord, they look into it. Now, when the fifth lord in the fifth house means they are very much mature, because the Tribunadipati was sitting in its own location, full of wisdom. Creativity will comes to the peak. Okay. Sense of humor is also come to the peak, reach their highest level. And they show their quality in their consciousness and every other phases in their life. Okay, these people need the adventures in their life. They want the thrills. They want that kind of an excitement. If the adventures was not in their life, they feel like they're empty. They feel like they didn't have any sense of meaning in their life. But if the adventures was is one of the it comes into their life, they feel like they are the happiest person. mostly the peoples are very sincere. When the fifth house Trigona sitting in its own house means very sincere. Okay. Definitely happiness comes from the children. This one you can say when the fifth house in the Putrasthana, fifth lord in the Putrasthana itself, children achieve the success in the professional spheres itself. Anybody having fifth lord in the fifth house?
Yes, Vinita, I have it.
Mm.
Uh, my Lagna is Rishabha,
Okay.
and fifth house is Virgo, Kanya,
So,
and Mercury is sitting in Kanya.
Rishabha Lagna, your fifth lord is who?
It will be Mercury, is it?
Mm.
And it is in Kanya.
Fifth lord in the in here Kanni Rasi itself, right?
Yes.
And I'm hearing your voice very low. I couldn't even understand what you say. But I understand
Okay.
your Rishabha Lagna. And the
Yes,
fifth lord, Mercury, is in the Mercury itself. Yes.
correct.
And which one is match? Is there any Graha present in it?
1 minute, I'll tell you. Sun also.
Okay, Sun also. And which one is matching? Which wasn't?
Um sense of humor is not that. I mean, it's normal. It's not at its peak.
Mm. Okay.
And I don't have children. I'm
Mm.
single. So
Mm.
that's
So
about
then
it.
we can leave this one.
The rest match.
Yes, okay. You understand why the sense of humor at peak, but you didn't understand. You remember this one slide we saw this when
Yes.
the sense of humor when the sun was combined, you may have a sense of humor. Now you understand. Now the
Yes.
sun and the Mercury was combined together.
Yes.
Okay, then you may speak, but you hardly smile, and you will only understand. Okay, this is the sense of humor. Or this
Mm.
is a wonderful example. Very good.
I will say it's there, but not so much. Not at its
Exactly.
peak.
Exactly. That's what I'm also saying. So
Yes.
you may not understand at the peak level because now
Mm.
who's sitting here? The hero is sitting. The sun is sitting. You may not understand that.
Yes. And
Okay.
but the thing is, it's not like I hardly smile. Also, it's
Because
less.
Mercury was present, right? Because the Mercury was present, the childness will be there. The childishness will be there. The child is whatever the child will think like the young mind will be there. But
Yes.
still, you combined with authority person. How you will feel? You imagine a situation one step further, and the child was sitting. How you will feel? The
Mm.
combined emotion will be there.
Correct. Correct.
That will match, right?
Yes.
Also. Now let's see into fifth lord in the sixth house. Okay, now here the interesting thing will come. Why? Why here is the interesting thing? Now we are going to see about the Dostana. Okay. Now fifth lord in the sixth house. So fifth lord we already know about it is expensive, creativity, speculation, amusement, romance. Now that lord was sitting in the Roga Rina Ripustana. Okay. Now what does that mean? It tells about your health, it tells about your debts, enemies, and any kind of competitiveness in your life. Okay. And how successful anyone can be. The Jataka can. How successful. That is also explained in the sixth house, your job, sixth house. Now, when the fifth lord is sitting in the sixth house, okay, now Trikonadipati was sitting in the Durthana. What will happen? So this they will have the unique ideas because the fifth lord, who's the owner of the intelligence, was sitting in the sixth house. They have the unique ideas. Their intelligence is not be that much diminished. They have the unique idea. Analytical skill will be high, and they are slow and steady in the growth. They are not goats, like not like that. They will very much they slow, they grow one by one. These all the peoples grow in their career step by step. Okay, and they have this competitiveness. These peoples can able to write any kind of the competitiveness exam. They can think analytically. They can able to answer very quickly. Their brain system will work really fast. Okay, business and speculative sectors. Okay, then business speculative sectors will come. Why? Because the fifth lord is sitting in the sixth house. Mostly these people are very much useful to the community. Okay, anybody was having fifth lord in the sixth house? In simple words, how you can remember fifth lord in the sixth house means they have the good analytical skills, they are very good for competitiveness exam. This competitiveness will help in every phase of their life, even in their job, even in their health, even in their debts they want to close, even if for the enemies, this competitiveness it's inbuilt in them. It will show whichever the obstacles in front of. It can be the enemy, it can be the health, it can be the debts. So they can able to finish every one of this. They can able to manage in another house. Okay. Anyone was having fifth lord in sixth house? Okay. I will quickly finish with the seventh one, then we'll find the horoscope. Okay. Fifth lord in the seventh house. Okay. This is the one of the thing which we have to be seen a different perspective. Why? This is the moment it will in your birth chart, it will go exactly opposite. Okay. Now, the fifth lord, who's the owner of the Putrasthana, signified by the conceit, creativity, speculation, amusement in the romance, now sitting in the seventh house. Okay, that represents about your opposite people. That is your spouse, partners, boss, client, customer, anything which is in comes in opposite to you, that you have to be answerable. All signified by the seventh house. Okay. Now, the Trikonadipati was sitting in the seventh house means it's good or bad, it's really good. Okay. These people are really kind and helpful. Their children get this when the fifth lord in the seventh house means the Jataka's children get all kind of the comforts. The children get all comforts and luxury. These are all the people who born with the silver spoon. Spouse quarterly disposed, possibly gains from this one point you have to remember. If you forget every other point, this one you can remember. They definitely gains from the spouse and their children. Because the Trikonadipati was sitting in the seventh house means it's exactly opposite to the Lagna. That means the peoples who are all facing. You may gain from your spouse and you may gain from your children. That spouse is the seventh house, fifth is your children. Okay, now let's quickly see the horoscope. Okay, we are seeing the horoscope of the Vasanti. Lagnam and the Rashi is the Karka Lagna, Vrikshika Rasi, Dasha Buddhi Antar is the Venus, Saturn and the Mercury. Whenever you see the chart, have the handy of the Gocharam as well as the birth chart. Okay. At this moment, you need to much more concentrate on the Navamsha. Navamsha will do that later at the beginning of the stages. Have the Gocharam and the birth chart handy. That's more than enough. Okay. Lagnam is the Karka, Lagnadipati is the moon. Kendra Triguna we already saw in the chart. We will take a look here. Okay, now Kendra is the Karka. This is the first house. Fourth house is the Tula. Seventh house is the Makara. And the 10th house is the Mesha. That is your Kendra. And comes into the Trigona, Karka, first house. Fifth house is the Varkshaga. And the 9th house is the Meena. That is your Trigona. Okay. So any planets in the one house? Yes. Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the retrograde Saturn. Exalted is the Mercury, debilitated is the Moon. Rashi Parivartana is there was none. Yoga Karaka is the Mars. We already saw about Daksha Buddhiyanta, who's the Dakshanathan is the fourth house lord, and the Buddhinathan is the 11th house lord. Varyadipati, that is the 12th house, owner is the Mercury, that is Buddha. Ashtamadipati is the sun, Sunny. Sixth house lord is the Guru. Padakadipati is the Venus, who is the 11th lord, because this is Shara Rashi. That's why we consider as the Padakadipati as the 11th house. Who's that? That is Venus. There was no Maranakaraka planet here. Vakragraha is the Saturn. Combust is the Mercury. Okay, now we are going to see about the 8th house. 8th house lord is the Saturn. Yes or no? Who's the 8th house? This is Lagna. Lagna is the Karka Lagna. Rashi is the Vrikshika Rashi. And now we are going to see the 8th house. Who's the Lord here?
Saturn.
Saturn is the Lord. Okay, now what are the things you can see in the 8th house? This is the Ayusthana. We know about longevity, how one individual is searching for the truth. He or she is a researcher or not. The foreign settlement is possible. So any transformation in the life will come. In totally, the 8th house is the house of the mystery. You see, this individual can able to study the occult science or any kind of the mysterious knowledge one can come across in their life form. Okay. Now let's see about here. Now we are going to predict. Okay. Now we already know about it. Lagna is a Karka, Rashi is a Vrikshika Rasi. If the house is the Kumbha and the house lord is the Saturn, now the Saturn is retrograde and sitting in his own house. That is the 8th house. Now tell me, the longevity is good or no for the Jataka. Now the Saturn was sitting in its own house. How it will? Is it a tough question?
Good, right? Because Saturn and own house.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the life will be long.
Yes, life will be very long. Why? Because Saturn is the planet for the longevity. It will give you this tremendous longevity in their life. Then you can say, and you may ask, okay, that is a retrograde planet. How it will be done? Retrograde means it's a kind of the karma which one can come with this lifetime. Okay, this individual which comes with the Saturn karma. What are the Saturn's karma? Anybody can remember?
Hard work.
Hard work.
This
So in the previous lifetime, this individual may think, okay, work is my life, and without the work, I can't live. So this lifetime, what they're trying to achieve, they want to learn the work-life balance. Okay, the work is not only the entire purpose of the life. There are the other things in their life. So they try to understand and learn and live in the experience of the work-life balance. That is about the Saturn karma. Okay. And when the Saturn was sitting in its own house means that is also telling you one different thing. What is that? 8th Lord in 8th house itself. Yes. 8th
Yeah.
Lord is the Saturn and sitting in his own house. What that one sentence will tell you. 8th Lord in the 8th house. Okay, I will give you one more clue. 8th house is the Dusthana. And Dusthana Adipati was sitting in any one of the Dusthana. What it will be?
Is it Raja Yoga?
Yes, Viparita Raja Yoga, right? So
Viparita Raja.
they will get the support from the partners, definitely. And mostly they will have the good self-control. And okay, what is that meaning? Good self-control means they have an ability to uh, face any kind of the crisis in their life. If n number of the personal struggle they may encounter, but they can come out of as a regime, they come out of like a fresh, full, and fresh, energetic person. It was like fresh life for them. Once crisis was done, and they get affected, but they will come out as they looks like a phoenix bird. Whatever the struggle they come across, they will done with everything and come out, and they start their life. They are such a energetic people. And when the Saturn was there, the Saturn has kind of the patience in it. It have anything, it will be delayed. But when the Saturn was sitting in its own house, means there is no worry about the longevity. The longevity will be increased. Search for the truth will be there. Yes, the search for the search for the truth in it depends differs from one individual to another individual. The searching for the truth may vary. Okay, but are he or she is interested in research? Possibly, but when the Saturn was sitting in there, they may interest in research. But how they are good and how it will going to help them? It's possibly may or may not only. We have to check with her how she is research, how she's interested in research or not. But it will help you to settle in foreign. Okay. And transfer House of Mystery, is there any possible to enter into the occult science field or learning any of the occult science? Possibility is really high because the Viparita Raja Yoga will give you that kind of the blessing in your life. Transformation is possible, absolutely possible, because this one, the Saturn will give you that kind of a energy too. Okay. Now, Vasanthi was not here. We will check with her. Anyone want to add anything in this chart? Because this one is a really wonderful chart to read. The Viparita Raja Yoga at the 8th house itself. Anybody want to add any other thing here? No? I consider it as a no. Okay. That's all about today's class. Any question?
Vinita, I want to ask, I forgot the meaning. Why is Yoga Karaka Mars in her chart? Can you just show that? Yes, I
Yoga
forgot
Karaka
what
is Mars. Okay, anyone can explain what is a Yoga Karaka?
1, 5, 9, 1, 4, 7, 10, if any planet is in
common
those
to both.
houses, that become the yoga.
You got it,
Is it
no?
common?
No, it's not common. See, for the Karka Lagna, Yoga Karaka becomes the Mars. It was definite one. Based on the Lagna, if the Karka Lagna, the Yoga Karaka should be the Mars only. Why? Okay, let's see about that. Okay, now for this one, what is the rule? The Kendra, the one planet becomes the Adipati of the Trikona, Adipati of the Kendra. Yes? This one is an
Yeah.
okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, now let's see about the Mars. Mars is the Adipati of the Trikona. Yes, it's the 5th house lord. Mars is
Correct.
also the lord of the 10th house, which is Kendra. Yes or no? Yes, see this? 1, 4, 1, 4, 7. Imagine it is a square. Okay. Now let's see about the triple. See, this is 1, 5, and 9. Okay. So, okay, imagine that is a triangle. Now, when you see that, when you see in the crosses, which one is having the both? The Lord
Mars.
who's also the Lord of the Tripuna, who's also the Lord of the Kendra. That is Mars only, right? Yes or no?
Yes, I get it.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Which is
is
common
that the
to
same for every Lagna? No. Based on the Lagna, it will be differ. The Yoga Karaka will be differ. For the
so
Simha,
it's the law which is common to Kendra and Trikona, the lord of the house.
the Lord of the house. Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Vinita. Sorry, it just slipped my mind.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Okay. Any other question?
That's it, Vinita. Thank you.
Okay. We will see you all next week then.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.